So I'm making a video on this CBC news article. It's not every day I make an article, right, on CBC or anything else. But I wanted to focus in on this. CBC is keeping Facebook comments closed on new posts, which means that CBC News is closing Facebook comments forever, right? They don't want you commenting, and their rationale for this is protecting their writers, which are publicly funded by the tax dollars. Now, if this was a YouTube video, let's say, there's a lot of those prank videos or so like fake, they're fake videos. Basically, somebody paid somebody to do something and then whatever, right? I was watching this video and there was this guy trying to keep this guy from like killing himself, and I noticed that why do they both have microphones on them, right? I mean, if like it's like they're talking at a distance. How the hell do you hear them unless you have a microphone, right? So, these are the small things that get called out in the comments section, right? Especially when you're faking something. And I guess CBC is faking a lot of stuff. That's why they need to close it, because when somebody calls them out, they're unhappy about it. You see, in news, right, in journalism, you're supposed to be neutral. You're supposed to present the evidence. You're not supposed to be pushing an agenda, pushing an objective, pushing a propaganda kind of thing, right? I mean, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to, it's like, if the weather is hot, or it's gonna be sunny, it's gonna be sunny. You're not supposed to like freaking say, I feel it's going to be sunny. No, I mean, you're supposed to present the evidence, right? So anyways, so CBC News has been getting called out for their propaganda for a very long time now, and people know it in the Facebook comment, and they're not trying to protect the writers. You see, the writers, if they aren't faking things, then, they don't need protection, right? You don't see people calling out the news, or I mean the weather report. I mean, if the weather report is like this, the weather report is like this. But if you're purposely trying to push an objective or trying to mind control, this is what I like to call it, mind control, right? Because when they present you an information and you can't do anything, you can't think about it, you can't analyze it, and you can't look at other people's analysis, it's mind control, because they just want you to accept their information. And this is like communism, right? I mean, you see, if this was on Russia, or like in Russia, let's say if this is in Russia or China or some other place, let's say their news, right? They censor whatever. CBC would be all over it, saying, oh, the news is censoring people and whatnot, and yet they're doing it. They're closing people's opinion down. They're not trying to protect anybody. They're trying to protect their interests, which is to mind control people reading it. So whenever I see CBC News, I take it with a grain of salt. I don't trust what they say, because if you don't allow other people to verify your information or your report, it's a lie, right? Because it's almost like those videos, like I was saying. There was a video I was watching, right, before. I don't know how many years ago it was. It was this guy trying to keep this guy from killing himself. And they had microphones on their bodies, and you could hear it because they took the video from a distance. And there's no way that the camera could catch the voices, right, so well, unless they both had microphones on them. And then you scroll down to the comment section, and you're like, this is a fake video, what is with this, right? You get to see it. But if they close off that comment section, you don't get to see it at all. And that's what they're doing, right? They want to censor people from posting the truth or actually questioning their report, because their report is subjective. All reports are subjective. I mean, you think that color is black? No, I think that the other black is black, right? I mean, if there's two black, right, which one is more black? This one or this one? It's subjective to the person viewing it, right? It's just like, it's kind of like one of those things. Beauty is the eye of the beholder, right? And CBC News is totally doing what a communist country would do, and they're communists. Because when you don't allow other people to verify your information and you want to act like I'm helping our writers, if they are so thin-faced or whatever you call it, if they're not thick-faced enough, then don't be a writer. Don't write things. Don't make up stories and then freaking expect people not to comment about it. No one is abusing it. I mean, Facebook already has their own abuse policy, and their policy, blocks people from posting truly negative comments. But somehow you feel comments that pass Facebook, right? Just your writers don't like it, should be closed, right? Should be censored. Then that's what communists do. And CBC News is communist, and they should have no right to talk about other people when they're pretty much doing the same fucking shit like the communists that are doing, which is censoring people.